Namaskar. I was the first face ever shown on Mumbai Doordarshan. At that time, I did not know what that meant. I only know it today that this journey started long before that moment. My friendly neighbor, a very famous director producer, Sai Paranspe, once came to my house and asked my mother, would Jyotsna be interested in a children's play? I was just 9 years old. My mother instantly said yes, not because she had any plans for my future, but because it was convenient, it was free, no money was involved, and perhaps because being my mom, somewhere she believed that I could do it. That play was called Zali Kai Gammat. It was a very emotional play about a physically challenged girl who was struck by polio. To help me understand my role, my mother took me on her cycle to Disability Center. She wanted me to observe, to understand the emotions, and even learn how to walk on crutches. At 9-year-old girl, this was very difficult. I was uncomfortable, I was confused. I did not fully understand why I had to do all these things. But lesson I learned very early stage in my life was you cannot represent someone honestly unless you first respect their reality. With the guidance of my guru Sai Paranspe, I went on to act in several children's plays, which with different stories, different emotions. Later, my parents were approached by one Mr. Kare, who always wanted to turn this play into a movie called Nirupama Ani Parirani. But one thing was always clear, that my education came first. I was allowed to shoot during my summer holidays for 2 months, so my mother took me to Kolhapur for 2 months. And there I realized I was the lead child artist, and I was surrounded by very famous Marathi actors. It was very exciting for me, but it was also overwhelming. What I learned then was important. Opportunity feels glamorous from outside, but discipline is what protects you on the inside. By the age of 12, I began doing voiceovers and recordings for All India Radio Pune. Again, I was not allowed to miss my school, so during my lunch break, I would cycle long distance, finish my recording, and return before the class started. It was so tiring, sometimes very exhausting. For every recording, I was paid rupees 5. That money gave me immense pride. I was earning at the age of 12 on my own. That confidence did not come from fame. It came from efforts, responsibility, and self-respect. Later, I graduated from Ferguson College. Again, I was connected with the theater and art circle, did couple of plays in college also. In 72, after marriage, I decided to be a very happy, relaxed housewife. I genuinely believed one chapter of my life had ended. There were no regrets at all. I accepted this choice very peacefully and happily. One day, my father-in-law came and asked me, did you read today's Times of India? I said, no, why? He said, just open and see it. And I opened the paper there was an advertisement by Bombay Doordarshan looking for a presentation announcer cum newsreader. I was based in Sholapur that time. Compared to Mumbai, it felt like a small town. I immediately cancelled the idea. I did not feel capable. I did not feel confident. Looking back, I realized this. We often reject opportunities not because we lack ability, but because fear speaks louder than belief. As fate would have it, my husband, Dr. Kirpekar, got a call from Bombay Hospital that he had to complete his internship and get into post-graduation. Then my father-in-law said, now you have to apply for this post. So I applied and I got an interview call in July 1972. We went to Bombay. I went to Doordarshan studio. It was chilling cold, a huge big hall, and there were about 300 to 400 people had come for the interview. I was standing in a corner. I said, oh my God, I'm too gone. I can't. I felt so overwhelmed. I felt inexperienced. I felt very small. Somewhere I was convinced I would not get through. My husband gave me a look and said once, this is an opportunity you cannot miss. Trying is more important than quitting. That one sentence changed everything. Courage does not mean believing you will succeed. Courage means showing up even you expect to fail. Inside the studio I went. There was a cameraman, camera, a table, chair, and there was a white piece of paper. It was filled with difficult Sanskrit and Marathi words. Luckily, Sanskrit was one of my languages in the school, so I could read it easily. That's how the first round was over. The second round was focused on voice. My experience at All India Radio helped me again a lot. The third round was an essay in Marathi on Mumbai rains. I had never ever experienced Bombay rains. I was stuck again. But then I remembered reading the newspaper every day morning to my uncle, who had lost his eyesight at the age of 30. At 7 a.m. every day before school, I would read a newspaper for him. That memory helped me write an essay on Bombay rains. I realized something very powerful that day. Nothing you learn with sincerity is ever wasted in life. By the later rounds, 500 candidates had become 40 candidates. The final interview tested confidence, presence, and composure. I was asked one question: could I commit from 1 to 9 p.m. everyday duty? I said, yes, I can. On 2nd October 1972, Mumbai Doordarshan was inaugurated. I was the first face shown on television, and my first words were, Namaskar. Every evening at 7, I began my Marathi news with Aajच्या ठळक बातम्या. To viewers, I was just a voice and a face. But to me, it was responsibility. Every word mattered, every pause mattered. I learned that when people trust you, your ego must disappear. Today, news is loud, and fast. But back then, we chose words very carefully. People gave people time to think. 5 years later, I decided to go to London with my family. But after doing a Hindi film called Shirdi Ke Sai Baba, I'm 75 now. Only now I do understand the weight of that responsibility on me. What once felt routine became a legacy I now share with my grandchildren. Impact does not always reveal itself immediately. Sometimes it takes a lifetime to understand what you truly built. When I applied for this job, I had no contacts, no connections, no money, only hard work, discipline, belief, and blessings from the elders. What I learned is simple. Take chances before you feel ready, respect preparations, be ready to fail, and in a chaotic world, choose to be the calm. People will start trusting you. Thank you very much.